Hold on, let's make sure. This is my first time using it, so.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I like this one better than a StreamYard. So apparently, you know, looks like we got some folks coming in, so that's good. So I am here this morning with one of my best friends in the world, Mr. Malik Carter. He sent me over his bio last night, but I really didn't need that. I've known him since high school, so I can talk about him freely. But Malik is a investor in the Philadelphia space. Recently, this year, became a stock investor. So hopefully he'll give us some gems on that, and also kind of give us some insight on how he built wealth and became a millionaire through investing in real estate. So you don't need a strong introduction because we already got that presence. So so tell us what's up.
All right, I'm staying on my mute.
Oh, you're mute. What? Wait, let me see.
I thought you muted me. I'm saying like, wait,
No,
waiting on you.
you're good. You're good. You're good.
So yeah, definitely. Good morning, everybody. Like Jasmine said, I'm definitely still a realtor. I guess I'm licensed anyway. I'm a licensed realtor.
Transaction went down.
Yeah. No, my transactions, this year is trash. Even before that, they were going down, but this year is definitely trash. I'm not really helping a lot of people. I have a small client base that I stick to, and it just makes it easier for me to stay home with the kids when I have to,
Yeah.
whatnot. So, but yeah, no, I still buy real estate, still buy rentals. This year has been tough because of COVID, get my projects done on time. I still do flip houses in Philadelphia, and I bought some vacant lots that I'm going to be developing in North Carolina. And my first flip in North Carolina after all this time is finally hitting the market. So
Is that it now? Oh, when is it hitting the market?
This week we postponed it, man, because there was in a homeless campment where it's across the street that showed up. Like they were out there, like it looked like New Jack City. They had like the oil drum with the fire going. Like it was raggedy, and so we had to get them out of there. It's like nobody's going to buy that house with that going across the street. So we had to get them out of there. And I'm like, listen, you homeless, I get it, but can you be homeless on that block?
Right.
So yeah, we either way. So then that's hitting the market this week, and my partners and I, we have one up here that we finishing up, and as soon as we finish this one, we're gonna roll that into North Carolina market. And so we're in Durham, North Carolina, and
Right.
also in
Durham,
Winston-Salem.
where you went to school, right?
What's that?
You went to school in Durham, right?
Yeah, I went to school. I went to North Carolina Central University. So one of my very closest friends is my partner. He still lives in Durham, and so that makes it easier. I wouldn't just go into another market, without a partner in that space. And since he lives there and I love it there, the plane tickets when I was flying was like 88 to $100 round trip.
We know you got your whole conspiracy theory on COVID. So you had
No, it's not a conspiracy. I think I'm just like the last person on earth, still self quarantining. Everybody else, especially Atlanta, they don't care, man. Atlanta, they out in these streets.
it's wild down there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm the last man in the house apparently. So that gave me a lot of time to do like a lot of. I spent more hours researching since like the first 2 weeks of COVID. I watched TV. I did absolutely nothing the first 2 weeks. I thought it was gonna be home for a minute and
Blow over like everybody else.
whatever. But after the first 2 weeks, like, it's only so much Netflix that I could watch, and
Uh-huh.
reruns. And so I was started to look like, okay, how can I make money from my phone, right? Because COVID really exposed me, because even though I do have passive income from a rental property, I
Yeah.
was concerned if my tenants were going to be able to pay. Fortunately, most of them were okay. Um, and then I didn't make my projects. My hard money lenders, they weren't like, yeah, because of COVID, no payment. And they didn't care that the mayor shut us down. They wanted their payment every month. And so that really exposed my business. So I had to figure out, like, okay, how can I get more money online? And I started like writing movie scripts. I mean, I started like writing a book. I did a lot of stuff.
The
You
movies
know,
from.
I mean, well, I always had the idea of writing a movie script. The idea's been in my head for like 4 years,
Okay.
and I decided to go ahead and to start writing it. I think it'll be a pretty good movie, but we'll see.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, no. We can do it. I mean, I started writing it. I mean, I got a pretty decent outline. I might finish it up, one day, just not this day.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back
I,
and do it. But no, I mean, I think it'd be dope. I think people enjoy it. My opinion. I mean, I can at least I know I can get it on. I could probably get like 500,000 views on YouTube. I don't know if I could get it in theaters or Disney Plus and nothing like that, but I'm pretty sure I can get a lot of views on YouTube. I think it'd be a good joint.
um, I'm cracking up. Okay.
So
Let's go ahead and get busy.
right. So what I did is I locked in on the stock market, right? The stock market, like, okay, I can make money from my phone, my laptop, where I am in the world. And then, so that's where I locked in. I was like, you know what? All the wealthiest people are in the stock market, right? When they talk about the rich getting richer, is because they in the stock market, and they own companies, they own businesses. So, I mean, I took it very serious, first starting out, just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But at the beginning, I was under the same impression that most people are, where you put money in the stock market and then hopefully one day of retirement, it started with this much and they go to this much, But what I quickly discovered is there's way more ways to make money in the stock market than I ever thought. I think you made a recommendation for an options trading joint. I did that. I mean, listen, I took.
Remember when we was first starting in the beginning of the pandemic, he was like, well, I haven't, I'm just doing the investing. And I'm like, no, you got to get into the options.
Yeah, so no, so I looked at the option stuff. I mean, I took a lot of classes, man. Even some of the more popular classes, like, I don't want to get to review each one, but they were all good except for once I got better, I realized that they weren't all good. It's just that when you're starting from a point of zero and you get fed a little bit, you feel like, it's amazing. And so at that point of knowing nothing, I was amazed. And the thing is, I appreciate those, even like the very basic ones, because they did give me a foundation to help me grow. And so people ask me like which one, and I will still recommend taking all of them because
Yeah.
they all had value. The ones that were more robust and the ones that were more basic, they all had value. They all help shape the investor that I am today. And they all have different tips. They don't all, once you put all those tips together, to create a trading plan. I mean, like, and that's the reason why that I recommend them all, and like I didn't just start buying stocks to buy it. Like I really got good at this business of investing. You know, my percentage, my win rate is up pretty high. So I did start off, doing the options, and I kind of got away from the day trading options and the swing trading options, So now I do more long-term stuff and I do some weekly stuff, but I can go over that part later. But how I'm able to make money every week with it, right? So anyway, so that's pretty much who I am. I have this whole. I'm gonna look over to the side because I got this thing. So now,
just so folks know, so basically, from you learning the stock market, from you being basically a vet in real estate investing, you kind of put everything together in a course, and you put it into like a 6-step program that's going to teach people how to get how to get to 7 figures. And I saw on your description, it's like no rich uncle needed. You don't need to make a ton of money. It's just going to be some basic steps that's going to say, hey, I need to make this. I want to make this money. But in addition to that, I might not have all of it, or I might not have a ton of money coming in. I might not even come from money, but I can do this. This is what the course is.
right? No, listen. And the thing is, everybody can do it. And so, what I talk about, like I did it. I want to combine everything, right? I think that I'm no before I was 100% real estate, and then I was 100%. I was then like 90% real estate, a little bit of stock, and now I'm at the perspective of like now we really need to be like 50-50, in like real estate and stock. I mean, we
started. It was like we were all on business ownership when we first started.
right.
So Malik and I once upon a time worked together, and had a team, right? So we were all on like, no, we need to own our business. We as African Americans, we as Black people, we as people in our community, we need to own our business, because people don't need to see people that look like them to be able to get them to bridge the wealth gap, right? So then we went from being business owners to being investors, because being an investor is not just that's where the wealth is really built, right? Not just working every day for your money, but in investing it and your money working for you. So now it's like, instead of just real estate investing, I was on a live with last week when we were in where were we? We were in a room somewhere. What's
the clubhouse one?
Clubhouse, right? And we were talking about investing our rental income, because now we're getting a rental income. That rental income is coming in. Now investing that rental income into the stock market, so it's growing even more money. And so I think that the reason why I wanted to reiterate that is because people need to realize that we have started from the very beginnings that most people have started from. I'm a single mom household. Malik is close to his father and his mother, but he grew up in the streets of West Philadelphia, like, drug dealers on the corner, all that type of stuff. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be your narrative, or it doesn't have to be your story, just because that's where you grew up. Like, you can still change this around. So I'll let you go.
Yeah, no. So what I do want to know is like I actually lost everything at the last crash. I was doing well, prior to 2008, and I lost everything. I lost my business. I lost my building. I lost real estate foreclosure. I mean, I made $0 for 8 months and had to live on that, and I just went, and tried to have to figure out a way until I finally got a job at the housing authority. Before that, I was, so what happened, I ended up getting a job at LA Fitness, right? So if you can imagine, me trying to sell some gym memberships, right? And so, right. And so I was trying to sell gym memberships, and I was actually embarrassed of that job. I shouldn't have been, because it's an honest living. But I think it's because they made me wear that tight lycra shirt. I think that was a problem. It wasn't necessarily the job itself, but the shirt I had to wear, it was just way too tight. Shirt on my contours, it's crazy. And so my friends in high school, I saw they would play basketball there. I couldn't even play with them. I'm sitting there trying to sell memberships. And then I remember this very clearly, right? So I'm watching, this was in, what was it? What was Obama got like? What was that? 08? No. 2012. Obama got elected, was it? Oh
Oh,
eight, right.
what?
It was oh 08. It was oh 08. It was oh 08, right?
Yeah.
So in oh 08, I'm sitting there, um, watching. I'm at the LA Fitness. I'm not supposed to sit on the equipment, but I'm sitting on the bike and I'm watching the election results come in. And I saw Obama won. I quit. I was like, yo, we got a black president. I'm out of here. Like, I don't need this job. We got a black president now. Yo, I quit that night.
Oh,
I quit that night, never went
I'm
back.
out. I
You
love
know,
it. Right. Okay.
and then I was just like, let me try to make a way. So I got back in the mortgages a little bit, and then I ended up getting a job at the housing authority,
Mhm.
like a month or two later. And I did the job at the housing authority, and that gave me the W-2 income to kind of continue on to buy real estate, and it gave me some regular income. When I first started the housing authority, I was making $40,050 a year, right? So my take home was like $450 a week, or 410 or four something like that every week. That's my take home
Uh-huh.
every week from the housing authority. And so, so I did that job, but I still have my real estate license. So I will still help people, on the side, but not a lot, but so
There.
I did that. And so, yeah, no, it was a struggle, man. It's like, working that job for 6 years, seeing but the good thing about that job is it made me appreciate like my life and what I have. Like it really humbled me to see the conditions that people were living in Blumberg. Blumberg was nothing sweet, at the time period, and even the condition of the buildings was terrible. The living conditions weren't good, and to see people come from that environment, I saw one little girl got into Harvard. She ended up going to FAMU, which made me happy. And then I see other people really thrive out of that community. And then I also seen people die, like legit, like be murdered. Like I actually see someone on the ground, brains in the door, murdered, suicide, all of that stuff. And then like all the ills of the world, like I got to see firsthand. And like I'm still like affected by it. I'm saying like I'm still like I still am traumatized from what I saw, and I was only there from 9 to 5 for a few years, and then I think about like the people that are raised and live in that environment, full time. How can you thrive in that type of environment, never be able to get a good night's sleep?
The people every day, right? So, but one of the things that I want you to share with the audience is one of the pivotal things that happened. I think it was either a tenant there or somebody that was selling drugs, and he was saying how much he makes or how much he's going to get.
Oh yeah, so the story. So
Yeah.
like, I was also inspired, man. There's one dude, he was selling like, he had one of the floors sewn up. So how it was in the building, you don't sew the whole building up, you sew a floor. And it's like in this building on this floor, he had it on smash. He's making a lot of money.
Okay.
And he was killing it. And so I asked him, he was early 20s one day, and I asked him, I was like, listen, man, like when is enough enough? Like at what point do you walk away? And looked at me crazy, like, what do you mean? I was like, eventually it's going to end. And then, whatever, conversation ended. And then he came back to me a few months, was like, you know what, OG, I get it now. By the next year, I'm done with this, and this was like November. So like the whole next year, whatever. And then the next year came and I never saw him then. I saw him like went in there one time after that. He left. And then what happened is I saw him at Home Depot a couple of years later, and he told me he bought 12 houses in Brewery Town. And but this is before Brewery Town was what it is now. Mind you, this was probably in 2010. Brewery Town was starting to bubble, but it definitely is not what it is now.
Right.
So he bought 12 houses out there, all of them he rehabbed with the street money and got tenants in it. And so and what he said it was kind of easy for him to leave the game alone because he realized that you only need like there's nothing in the world that you can't do with $7,000 a month. And then I started to think about that. And it's not like you can do whatever you want. Your mortgage can be a couple of thousand. Your car could be a stack if you want to be a stack. And you still got change left over. Like you can really live a life of abundance with only $7,000 a month passive. It doesn't take. You don't have to be Rick Ross to have financial freedom.
Right.
You just have to have good habits.
Yeah.
And make good investments.
Yeah.
And like the thing that saved me is I've always been cheap. And I didn't do that intentionally. I just don't like spending money. I'd rather have it. And because I've always been cheap, and then I made my investments in the real estate. When I left the housing authority, I just quit. I had no plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just know I didn't want to be there anymore. And I already had $2,000 a month coming in rental income.
Mm-hmm.
And that $2,000 a month rental income sustained my life. I wasn't able to do everything that I wanted, but I didn't have to work. And so I could kind of figure it out. And I didn't know that real estate was going to work, because once I lost everything in 2008, I was still scared of the business from that point. And so what I ended up doing before I left PHA, I actually got suspended. I got a 5-day suspension. And what I did is I went and bought the books to get my license in extermination. And so when I got suspended,
that plan was to what? Exterminate, go back.
Exterminate. My plan was like this. So my plan was, in the city of Philadelphia, I know for a fact I could find 4 people a day that got roaches, and I got $50 per spray, so I can make $200 a day. That's the plan. That's the plan. It's like, listen, I know it. Who don't got roaches and mice? City of Philadelphia, we got more row homes than anybody else. Everybody get mice at least once a year in wintertime. It's how do you maintain them, right? And so it was like, all right, I could go to any neighborhood, right? I can go to, let's say I go to 123 Main Street. I exterminate them. Then I could go to 121 Main Street, be like, listen, I just sprayed Miss Johnson's house. She got bad roaches. They gonna come over here. I'm here now. I give you a discount. They can be like, yeah, you know what? Miss Johnson is dirty. They're not gonna be like, no, she clean. Because all your problems are because of the neighbor. They're not because of you. My neighbor dirty, right? And so now I got 121. And then I'm gonna knock on 119, then I'm gonna knock on 117. I'm gonna say the same thing. Your neighbor dirty. So I'm here discount. I'm gonna spray your house. Next thing you know, I got the whole block. I done made $2,000 in like an hour and a half. I'm just spraying these joints up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was like,
that's a play though, right? Because I think that what happens with people. I was talking to my cousin last night, and people overplay the game, right? So extermination, you get your extermination license. Even if you just did, like you said, 4 people, I feel like you could get 10 people a day for real. And
I know, but my thing is like 4. That's $200. It's $1,000 a week, and I'm only working like an hour a day. It's like listen. Everybody watching this had an exterminator come to their crib. How long were they there? They walk through,
20 minutes.
Spray you up. They got a mice pack. They might pick the joints up, put them by the radiator, put them by the stove, put them by the refrigerator, and they out. 15 minutes max. $50.
Done.
Like you out here trying to go to law school. No, you can be a goddamn exterminator and get this bread. Get this no debt. Everybody out here trying to make this look hard. It ain't hard.
I know, and that's the thing. Me and him were talking about trucks, right? So he was like, listen, you could get a $10,000 truck and you could get a route, and you could pay somebody, I think it was like you could pay somebody $700 a week, and the route is like maybe like you get $2,000 a week. So you get the truck, you pay cash for the truck, and then you pay that person $700 a week, you put gas in the truck all week, you make $1,000, and all you did was buy a truck, right?
All you do is buy a truck. No, listen, it's like, no, it's I think we not really taught, we taught to go the route we did. We taught to go to college and all that, and that's okay. Listen, I'm a college advocate. you know, especially HBCUs, you know. But the point is, it's way easier to make money out here than what they make it seem, right? And so what I did is the way I packaged it up is, first of all, like mindset. Like we really have to understand mindset. Not even mindset alone, is just you don't know what you don't know. And I'm still an everyday student, right? I still got to read books, still got to absorb stuff. You know, you still got to look for different plays. I'm gonna give you this one little tidbit that's coming like deviate. I just read last night that there are more hours spent from people watching video games on YouTube than the entire Netflix platform. So all the movies being played on Netflix is more people on YouTube watching other people play video games that are recorded.
I know.
I'm saying,
homeboy, my son, he probably watching it now. I'm like, why do you watch other people playing the game? Oh, it's concept, it's something. I'm like,
it's not even live. These are recorded games.
Recordings.
I'm saying, and so when I look at that space, I'm sitting here like, okay, if it's that many people just watching video games, I need to be invested in that space.
Exactly.
I need to put, and so now, last night I pulled up, I got my list of stock that I'm going to research and find out what's my next gaming plays, because the entire Netflix shares are like $500 something to share.
I know. That because it would be Google. The Alphabet, their shares. What is it? What was it yesterday? I looked at
Google. I don't follow Google. Go ahead.
Google, but that's what I'm saying. So if you're thinking about like a YouTube play, that's
for sure. Yeah.
That's huge, right? Because
it's huge.
It's huge because think about it. If so many eyes are there, right? That brings it back to the digital space, because when we're selling things as far as something digitally, think about it. If those eyes are there, then we need to be selling something that's gonna get those eyes. My son is being advertised to every couple minutes because he's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what is he being advertised? Oh, he's advertising the new gaming system. You know the PlayStation, Facebook. He got an Oculus. You know what I mean? Like all of those things are being advertised. So how else would he know? Because he's not even going to school, because he's in the homeschool. So it's like this is the way it is.
Right. And you gotta watch it, man, because my son all of a sudden started talking about like he wants some Old Spice, and I'm like, what the hell are you watching? They advertising Old Spice? That ain't no kid show, bro. Like I don't know. I gotta monitor his YouTube views a little closer. Like what program is he watching? Like they don't like they have Old Spice commercials on Pokemon. That's not there. So I don't know what the hell you're watching, man. So I gotta figure that part out. But that's it.
I talked to him one day and I'm like, who am I talking to? Am I talking to Malik's father? Like, you know what I mean? Your son, you know what I mean? He different for sure.
Yeah, no, he did. So I'm saying here, like, what the hell is he watching though? So I got to figure that out, you know. But the point is, like, once we package up this space, and I started to think about my son, right? I did very well in real estate, and I didn't realize how financially illiterate I was until I tried to figure out how to pass these assets down. So I called my accountant, I called an attorney, I called a financial advisor, and they all gave me different advice. And so I was more confused than before, from the beginning. Like, what the hell should I do to pass these assets down to the next generation? And then it's like, we think that because our bills are paid, we got money in the bank, we living okay, that we're financially literate. And that's just not true. I did very well financially without being financially literate, you know? And so it's important for me, you know, to bring this out. And then, you know, like I said, we talk about, so now, that's why I actually made these hoodies right here, you know, stock, life insurance, real estate, if you can see it. Stocks, life insurance, real estate. I mean, if you can see it better here on my joint. Stock, life insurance, real estate, and businesses. Yeah. Right. And the reason why I made this is because when I'm in the hood every day, I think people need to see these things and start to think about this is what you need to build and maintain wealth. You know, people don't understand the power of life insurance. Life insurance should be the pillar of everybody's wealth building. This wasn't even really part of what I want to do today, but it's important that I share with as many people as possible, right? When I did my policy, I didn't even think about getting life insurance for my kids. But what that did for me by getting a whole life insurance policy, what that did is now I'm preparing for 3 generations. How? Because first of all, I got to own my kids. We don't know which one of our kids are going to have pre-existing conditions and they can't life insurance later. So we're going to do it now. They don't need a physical, and it's going to be super cheap.
Right.
Buy the life insurance, both my kids, right? That's the one. 2, if I want to borrow from, I want to use it, I could borrow from the policies if I want to make a play or whatever, and they still be covered. I just got to pay that money back to the policies, right, after I use it, whatever. Then, whenever I give that control to my son, he could borrow from it, he could use it, he could do nothing, for the policy. And then, when they have kids, their kids will have a policy against them they could use to make a play, or eventually, my kid's gonna pass away, and then they'll have at least an insurance policy that I'm paying for. So I'm preparing for 3 generations with $25 a month per policy. I can make a play with 3 different generations. And so once you really see the power of life insurance, then a lot of the time when people get short on their bills, one of the first things they cut is that life insurance policy. That's really one of the last things you cut, but this isn't really about life insurance. But that point, that is important that people really start to value a life insurance policy, right? And then when you pass away, ain't no more fish fries, ain't no more GoFundMes, the policy holding you down, most of y'all can't cook no how, right? And then
shut up.
So
so go ahead and start breaking down your course.
See somebody said Nvidia. Nvidia was the first I ever made $1,000 today on was Nvidia. So I got an affinity for Nvidia. That's my baby right there. I love Nvidia.
Okay.
Nvidia for the future.
The link for your shirts. So go ahead and start breaking down.
Oh, that's on my Instagram, @realestate_coach_Carter. You can find the shirts there. So now, like I said, is like the fact that now my kids got the life insurance policy, and then I use real estate to, should they go to college? I don't even know if college is going to still be relevant. By the time they get 18, one of them 8, one of them's 1. I don't know if college, but the thing is, I'm making it so they have choices, right? And so what I did, I actually bought them both properties that they had. I was going to move it, but I got them both properties now that right now I'm collecting on it, but I bought them specifically to when it's time for them to go to college. I could refinance it, I could sell it, I can do whatever so that they don't have to be in student loan debt that I'm still in at 42 years old. And I got 10, 15 more years to pay unless Joe Biden come through with that with that student loan forgiveness, Joe, we need you on that student loan forgiveness. That's going to change. That'll change everything right there, baby. Get rid of that student loans. But so now I'm able to use real estate to make their life a lot easier. And once again, it's about giving them choices. It's not about deciding life for them. It's like if they decide that they want to be a postman, they can do it. If they want to go to school forever and be a chemist, they can do it. They want to be a beach bum, they can do it. Because once you understand how to make these millions in real estate and how easy it really is, and then once you understand how to make these millions in the stock market, because it's easier than what you think it is, and I think part of me, and when you think about it, it was more self-esteem in my part because I never really studied the stock market because I really didn't feel like I could get it. I feel like it was over my head, and I was like, man, that's too difficult, too complicated. I don't think I could get that. And with that self-defeating attitude is why I didn't even try, and it wasn't until like, what? Let me start read this stuff. Let me start to watch this stuff. Oh, this is how it works. And then I was like, what? This is not as difficult as I made it seem all of these years, and it's just like, if you don't start, you're never going to get it. And so, and knowing the fact that, like I said, my kids know how to make money in real estate and how to make money in stocks, they're going to be millionaires. already. Like it's already written in stone. If they're not, it's because they chose a wrong path along the way. We can't, as parents, we can't stop that.
No.
We can give you the tools, we can give you the advice, we can guide as much as possible, but the decision is 100% theirs.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, if I know it's a lot of parents that raise their kids in the great life in the suburbs, son doing life right now, you know, for murder, you know, domestic violence, you know, some got killed in the streets, wanting to be somebody not doing jail time because they wanted the lifestyle and their parents, you know, you was in Elkins Park, you know, you was in the Lab Rock, you ain't have to do all, you didn't have to sell that dope.
Well,
Like your daddy a dentist. Why do you need to do all of that?
right,
You know,
right.
so we definitely can't we can't choose their life, but we can't give them choices, you know, and that's really what I'm on about, having the choices, you know, to give them. And the thing is, everybody watching this is not that difficult, you know, and the way that I did it is I just acquired rental property. The reason why everybody else is like, let's get back to work ASAP. And I'm sitting here like, why? Like, shit, I'm not going outside still. Like I said, I haven't worked since March. I closed like 3 deals since March. I rarely leave the crib. And that's because I built a nice rental portfolio up over the years that allowed me to have some rental income, and I don't spend money, you know, and so I can really sit back. I got another year before I got to get out in these streets. You know, before I got another year before I'm like, ooh, it's getting tight around here. You know, let me go make some money.
Your wife,
You know, I gotta.
when you go
Like,
get some money.
yeah, like, no, listen, no, don't get me wrong. Like this year, I am definitely not making the money that I could have made pre-COVID, but I ain't missed not 1 mil. I still got cable. You know what I'm saying, like, I still like my son's still in private school. You know, like I'm still just fine, even though my income for this year is gonna be trash.
Yeah.
We're still okay,
The
right? And so, but it's just that the
investment
that we make, you know, to come along this way is where we get there, you know. And so,
break down the course. Go ahead and break down.
all right. So let me do this, right?
Ready to go.
And I will say, you know, people that stick around to the end, we will have some more Q&A, right? You know, we will have some, you know, some gifts and stuff for you, you know, at the end, you know, hang out around. And one of the things that I do want to point out is when I just want to bring one point home. I know I shouldn't, but I like to share this point because it's important to the journey, right? So in 2 weeks, be 4 years since my dad passed away, right? My parents were together, but my mom still had an insurance policy on her. My mom had she had a 30-year term life insurance policy on her. That policy, that term life policy, expired in April. My dad died in December. So in that 8-month time period was the difference between my mom getting a payout from 30 years of paying the policy and her not getting a damn dime from that policy, right? So she paid on that policy for 30 years straight and didn't get paid anything but picking the wrong policy. And that's because my mom was raised on a farm in Virginia, you know, with no running water, no electricity, you know, back then. And that the farm we still got where my mom was raised at. When they moved to the city, and so all they had was a man knocking on the door selling them policies. And so her mom couldn't teach her about life insurance. So what did she know about it? And now, because of her mistakes, now I know about it. And now I can pass that on. I got the knowledge and I can share with everybody else. Like, no, made these mistakes. You know, we done wasted we made 30 years of payments and got nothing. So no, that wasn't really the right policy. You know, we got to look at, or maybe you need a combination. Maybe we want to look at that. And I think that is really important to, you know, to let everybody know, like, you know, I didn't start out knowing everything. Nobody knows everything. And one of the reasons why I share my mistakes and my problem is because most people don't. You know, like when I shared in the beginning of March, my wife 401k dropped like 40%, and I felt terrible because I didn't know what to tell her. Like that's the main reason I started studying and stuff. Like, oh shit, we lost 40% on this 401k. And my wife, as a man, my wife asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So I'm like, no, what? Let me jump in these books and understand how this money really works. so I can really feel more like the man of the household and not like, lose my wife's retirement and not knowing what to do about that.
Or
And so these
or
right.
what.
So these are the things that not only drive me to do better, but it drive me to show everybody else what's possible because nobody else is showing us. Nobody else is showing us the way. They make it think like it's hard out here to make money. Like I was legit angry, like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was very angry. I was like pissed. I never made money and been mad. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did in a minute, right? But
Well, go ahead because I want to make sure that we're respectful of people's time. But
oh yeah, for sure.
we're definitely going to go over because I already know because when the two of us get together, it's just so many ideas.
I know we just this whole having not really talk had nothing to do with the whole thing we getting to talk about. We just been going on, right? And so, but either way, but I definitely did show you guys, that. To say this. So what I'm trying to do, like I said, mostly is educate people, educate everybody. I put this program together, right, to let everybody know how easy it is out here and that everybody can do it. And it's important for me to put this knowledge into you so you can do your own research and become better so you can teach your kids and your kids won't have to be in the same struggles that you may or may not be in, and even if you are in a good space, you could be in a better space and your kids will be in a great space. It's no more of our kids. This is the first generation where the kids are not going to be doing better than the parents. And it's all because of a lack of knowledge, lack of investment. Right. And so what I did is mainly I put it in a very simple, easy to consume and easy to understand play. Play by play is strictly how you combine investing in the real estate and investing in the stock market to basically grow your income quick and raise your retirement quick. And to make it easy, I wrote it from a perspective of I wrote everything from a perspective of someone that makes 30,000 a year. Under 30,000 might be kind of, even 30,000 is tough, but under 30,000 may really be tough. But if a person makes at least $30,000 a year and they really control their spending and they follow the simple plan and I'm not telling anybody to quit your job. I'm not telling anybody to be a mogul. I'm just telling you to follow these simple steps and just do these couple things. Buy real estate frequently, at least one a year,
$1,000 a year is $15 an hour, $15.62 an hour, right? So
right. And so
15,
if you make that or more, then you'll be golden.
okay.
And some of the things I show people, like I can legit show how you could grow, like depending on the age you are, how you could really grow $1,500 in the millions without adding any more money out of your pocket. And it's just that when you looking at, I want people to look at compound interest, right? We all learned about compound interest in school, but our teachers didn't tell us how important compound interest was, and about compound growth. Matter of fact, just what? Let me share the screen real fast. Let me pull it up real fast.
Got it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up now. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna do this, but I think the visual. I don't usually have the visual part, but I do want people to see. All right, I got the website up. Am I sharing the page now?
Yeah, you know how to share it?
No, I don't know how to use that. Let me see.
Or text me or send it to me in the chat and I can
No, just try to do it because it'd be easier.
just hit on the side. It should say screen. Does it something say screen?
Oh, screen. Okay. All right, you got it.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna just do that one. I'm gonna hide it. So what Malik is probably trying to show you guys is how compounding interest works. I'll wait for him to log back on. But really it goes through, hold on, let me see if I could just share that. Waiting for him to come back. Oh, there he is. All right. For some reason, I can't get the screen, the whole screen. It only shows like in 3 for some reason. I'm not sure.
Right. Am I back on your side now?
Yeah. So go ahead, because it's not going to work for us to show the 3 screens and us.
Okay. So but I can't share?
For some reason, I can't. Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, no worry. So, all right. So can you just do the math for me then, Jasmine, if you can?
Okay.
So we just want to look at it as the math of someone. Let's just say your initial investment on that site is 0, right?
Uh-huh.
And make the monthly contribution 500.
Okay.
All right. The length of years and time, say 20, right? So I'm 42, but let's just say 20 years. And the interest rate, if we talking about the S&P 500, is 8. Okay, compounded annually, and then just calculate that number.
Okay. So let me just, I can share the screen. Hold on, let's see. So that number is $274,571.79.
Okay, so about 275,000. So for over a 20-year time period of just putting aside $500 a month for 20 years, that's $250,000. I used to anyway, waste $500, on random stuff, right? And so when you understand that, then you
still order your DoorDashes, I'm sure. So that's
yeah. No, I definitely do. Well, beginning of COVID, I really wasn't. I kind of got lackadaisical with it lately, But I definitely still spend a lot of money on food, but I don't go anywhere, And I save money on lotion. See, look at the hands, no lotion. How much money do I save right there? Lotion like $15 a bottle. It was like, man, I save bread. You gotta save it when you can, right? And so
$500 a month. Compound.
Right, and that is so. Either way, like I said, and then when you realize, like, okay, from just buying a stock, I can do this. Just buying a real estate, I can do this. But then there's other things there's other ways that you can do, as other relatively safe ways where you add money and you can, compound it faster and faster and faster. And that's just like a basic compound. That's a simple compound interest. It could go to 274. What I'm saying is, with that same amount of money, is how you buy, what you buy, the frequency of what you buy. That 274 could be 2 million, and thing is, it's not difficult. It just is very simple strategy that I put together from taking from all these teachers, and coaches that I paid for and learned. And I'm like, all right, how can I do this without risk? Because when you play options, I lost. So I lost a lot of money when I was just doing weekly options. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. At one point I was up 40%. And then that next week I was down like 5%. But I gained. I was like, all right, man, I'm losing too much in a row. Like, how can I make money safely? How can I grow this to like 1% or 2% every week? Or even a 0.5%. If you grow your money a 0.5%, every week, that's exponential growth. People just don't appreciate the value of small gains. So the way I do it is safe. It's relatively safe. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. There's risk in everything. I can show you guys what has been working for me and the reason why I made more money in stocks than all these years of blood, sweat, and tears building my real estate portfolio up. I made more in stocks, but real estate has the better tax advantages, than stocks. It's way better. You get the depreciation, all of the, interest write-offs, you get all of that stuff. And so what I definitely want to do is show everybody like, yo, you can do the same thing. This is not a space where there's no competition. We could all be in exactly the same stocks. We could do exactly the same play, and we could all make the same amount of money. Like there's no, oh, why I got a barbershop on this corner? Why you want to be on that corner? I'm selling waters here. Why you want to be right there? No, it's none of that. We could all do the exact same play and all make bread depending on you. I'm saying there's absolutely
so how do you
get absolutely no competition and think everybody can do it. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a stockbroker. All you have to do is understand these very basic principles of how it works. Now, what I'm saying, all right. So now more than anything else, I'm trying to dispel the myth that we are retiring at 65. We're not doing them. Man, listen, Ronaldo Ray just died, right? Tiny just died at 62. Like that's 2 Friday characters died in like a 2-day period. At 62, Zeus died, right? We got John Singleton died at 50 something. Like we dying way too young. Ain't nobody working till 65 no more. We're not doing that. That's out the window. We taking these gains, we changing their life, and the way I got it, and from a 30,000, so somebody makes $30,000 a year, over time, I get you to making $100+ thousand a month, and have $500,000 in your bank account. Ain't no more working until retirement. We're not doing that no more. That's dead. You get whatever little pension they give you, or 401k, cool, get that. But is it more important for you to stay that job until 65 to collect the maximum amount of whatever contribution they give you? Or is it more important for you to live your life of freedom? I'm saying they got us thinking it's noble to work at a job and they give you a watch and they give you a little party when you retire. Then they give you watch no more. They just give you some balloons and a cake when you retire. Yeah. That's all they give you. There's no reward for that. This American way of life is bull. It's not real. They tell you from the beginning, you work until you're 65 and then you live. And Black people die early. You got 7, 8, 10 years to live after you retire? No, we're not doing that. We making this passive income. From real estate. We getting this stock bread. We getting millions, and we out the way. We living a life of abundance because it's all there for everybody else. And so that's what I got on that. So just to recap on the joint, like I said, so in my course, I teach exactly how somebody. If you make more than $30,000, great, you can accelerate. But I wrote it from somebody that almost has nothing. People are out here are not just hungry. People are out here starving. The violence is what it is because people don't have hope. Right? When you out here, you're 15, 16, you got a gun and you think that there's no other way, then you do this. I'm like, no, let me help people get rich so they can stop knocking old ladies in the head. So that you don't have to put your life on the line for $5,000. I made $5,000 on Thursday. I'm saying it's like, no, we don't have to, and I did nothing. I was here with the kids, and so once you understand these things, it's like, yo, the level of risk that people are taking for this little bit of money is not worth it. And because they think that it's a lot, and it's not. Would you rather run off on the plug and somebody chase you down? If you take a loan from the bank and you don't pay $100,000 back, you're gonna get a letter in the mail. Right. They're not sending the killer to your door. Right. I'm saying it's like, yo, understand that I get $100,000 from the bank and get a letter, or I could go for the plug and take $5,000, and I got hitters after me for a little bit of money. I'm saying, and so the changing the mindset, changing the activity, and I'm like, yo, let me share this information with everybody. And so one last thing I'm gonna say is, in the city of Philadelphia, they did an interactive map and they did an overlay of poverty, and they overlaid that map with violence crime, and the map was the almost exact same map. Everywhere you got poverty, you got high levels of violent crime. What I'm doing is trying to stop that crime piece. Understand that you don't have to blow nobody's head up. You don't have to get it. And like $30,000, you could be a millionaire. That's why I did this.
So after the mindset is there, because we got everybody in the chat, right? Everybody in the chat is like the mindset is there, right? So what's the next step after that? After that mindset piece, what's the next step that you're teaching?
So more than anything else, the mindset is like, listen, you can work with Jasmine. She put you together a budget, understand it, and like you got to get your budgeting together. And Jasmine will show you what you can buy. Like right now, we got the plan. I'm working with Jasmine. I'm gonna lay a bunch of different things out, like how people to get into like single family, multifamily. You know, I really recommend multifamily. You know, even some commercial stuff, and we can put the play and start with real estate. Everything starts with real estate. You know, when you think about your biggest expense in life is where you live. For most of us, some of us a car, but for most of us, the biggest expense. And so once you start to understand that expense, and once you control that expense, then it's easy to now you save money and you control the expenses of where you live. Mm-hmm. Now you can invest in other stuff that's going to help you get out of here. You know, if you just really buckle down and do a couple of things for 3 years, you know, your life will change dramatically. You know, one thing I always say is 2000 will save your life. And as I said earlier, is because like I was able to quit PHA because I made $2,000 rental income. But most people are only about 30,000 in debt. If you start buying stuff and you make an additional $2,000, you could be totally debt free in like 18 months.
Right.
For the rest of your life. Right. Buckle debt for 18 months. And now you're not in debt no more, and you can really reinvest and load up. You could take off.
Okay.
You know, you can do it. So first step, like I said, understanding, you know, get your budget together, talk to Jasmine, and look at the types of properties that you should buy, how to buy, where to buy, because all those things are important. You know, not just say buy real estate. I'm not saying just buy real estate. It's a specific strategy and how you buy real estate, how you manage that real estate, how you manage your debt, like all of these things. But like I said, Jasmine, she could put together real estate play. That's the next thing I would say.
So the next thing for people is their personal budget, right? Because when we're talking about to go ahead and purchase a house or even get your credit together, or you might, or what about the person that did already take the plunge, that's already a homeowner? What's that next?
So at that point, I would say good. Just understanding more importantly, you know, so you stop buying stuff, like really save everything. Say
it how you usually say it.
You know, I mean, I don't know where you're broadcasting this. You know, right. I'm always like, listen, you know, stop buying shit.
Right.
Really, just stop buying shit. You know, the easiest way to save money is stop buying shit. Then it's like damn, where can get them? And like all the time, I tell people like, yo, I need to find money for a deal. I need to buy my money for this play. Like you got it, it's in your closet. That's where the money at. You know, it's on brunch. You know, it's on. You want to pop bottles. You want to buy the purse. You want to buy the Jordans. You want to buy the bootleg Louis belt. Like that's the money that you need. You know, for your deal. And so when we talk about retirement and a retirement number, like most people don't even know how much they need to retire. Have no idea how much they need to retire. So you don't know how much you need to be saving. And the thing is, you won't know until it's too late. You won't know until you're ready to leave a job and you like, damn, that's all I'm getting the money. How am I gonna live on that? You got to plan early for that time period. You got to know, like, all right. And most people will just say $1 million. Why? How the number even come through? But let's just say for math's sake, it is $1 million. Every dollar that you don't put towards retirement is making you work that much longer. I'm saying if you spend $300 on something and it's not in a retirement account growing interest, then that $300, in fact, let's say it's $500, right? That $500, you know, that's easily worth thousands of dollars if it's something you pay for costs $500. That isn't what it cost. That's what you paid. What it cost is the potential of that $500 from growth. That's the real cost. This $500 today is not invested, but it really could grow, you know, 8% a year for the next 20. That's what you really pay for that item. That's the real cost of what you paid for it. And so now it's like, okay, every last dollar not going towards retirement is making you work longer. You know, my thing is, you're never going to see me in like a high end, like a foreign. And that's not even my thing. Is I care more about my time than I care more about things, right? And if that's not you, then that's okay. You can live your life how you want to live it. But you like to buy things. There's real estate and the stock will help you buy more things without using your paycheck to buy those things. I don't recommend it. Like I said, I like the fact that I ain't got to go nowhere for the next year. I love that.
So
Yeah.
so we talk about that because even with Briere, right, the play I did for her last week.
Right. That's powerful. Yeah, powerful. Yeah.
She wanted to buy a car. My daughter wanted to buy a car. She goes, Mom, I want to buy a dream car. I don't even know what a dream car looks like because I've been driving a Toyota for, the last 10 years. But whatever that dream car looks like, I'm sure it's going to cost way more than what my Toyota cost me, right? And so I said, I asked her why first. And so, it was, my friend has it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I said, well, instead of me buying you a car, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a down payment or pay the down payment for you to be able to flip a property. And I'm going to walk you through flipping a property. And so not only are you going to learn a skill, you're going to be able to see this process, do something that's exciting and something that you have interest in. And you will get the proceeds from the flip. Now, you can't take the proceeds from the flip and buy pocketbooks or even buy the dream car. What you have to do is take the proceeds, and we're going to do 2 or 3 more flips during this upcoming year. And you are going to take those and then you have to buy a rental property. And that rental property, the rents from that rental property, if half of the money from that rental property can afford you to buy the dream car, then you can do it. The other half has to go into savings and has to help you live your lifestyle because you live a very expensive lifestyle. And now that you're 19, I need to stop carrying this lifestyle that you live, right? And so but we have to be able to put those plays in for our kids, right? Because if we don't, then they're going to think that they're going to get in a ton of debt. They see what's on Instagram, they see what's out here. They're going to get in a ton of debt with even college, with even with all the material things that they think that they want, and then they're going to be stuck. And it's all of this work that we've done, all of these things that we've said, it is for nothing. So what the course is doing is basically building the blocks, because if we didn't know, like you said, your mom didn't know that she had a 30-term life insurance policy in place and she thought she was doing the right thing and it expired. Like that, she didn't know that, right? Because but if we don't teach our kids, how many times do you see people inherit property and they lose it? It's not really because of like strong neglect. It's because they don't know.
Don't know.
We do all of these things. Our grandparents will do all of these things, buy properties and things like that, but they never took us to the tax office to pay the taxes, right? Or they never told us like, yo, even if y'all not going to live in this property, make sure this property is watertight so that at least no water gets in here. You're not getting a bunch of water damage. You know what I mean? Like we have to teach our kids, and this is how generational wealth is truly built, when we are literally teaching our kids what we do on a daily basis. But you got to learn yourself, right? And you got to keep learning, right? So it can't just be, just one time you just using these things. You just learn these things. It's like a continuous. Every night we're reading books, we're looking at YouTubes and looking at lives and things like that makes sense. But we're doing these things on a continual basis to be able to get this done. So my proposition, and Malik, I'm putting them on the spot, right? The course, people that go ahead and participate and buy the course today, Malik and I will come back on a live or come back on a Zoom and go step by step instead of you just having the course, because I think a lot of times people get the course and it goes into the spam box or it goes into your email and you never take action on the course, right? So instead of that, Malik and I will go step by step in the course, right? Step by step in the course and break down each step and tell you the math behind that budget, right? Tell you the math on how to budget, how to get into a house when you don't even realize it. I had somebody I was talking to yesterday. She was saying, I really want to buy a house, but she had great credit, but she didn't have enough room in her budget to save. She had zero savings. And I said, you know what? Instead of you saving to buy a house, you got to save an emergency fund. You need $1,000 because if anything goes down, you're a single mom, you have two smaller children, what's going to happen? You're going to dip into their savings, and life is going to happen. I've been there. I'm speaking from so I'm speaking from this real life for me, right? So you know what I mean. So, but I had to say to myself, no, I can't eat out. You know what I mean? No, I can't buy what I want to buy because I want to stop playing without a net. So I would go ahead and I put together my emergency savings account, and then it became an account that I was able to save to buy investment properties, and then now it's so that I could sit in the house with Malik and talk with him all day and not have to go outside during the pandemic.
Right.
So, but that was a gradual thing. And so the course, the course is one thing, but really taking the gems and exercising them and executing them is what our thing is. We come from the same school of thought. We want people to take action. We don't want people to just buy our products and not take action. Even in my course, most of the people on here are either in the Green Everything group or they're taking my real estate investing course. And I told them on Thursday night, y'all have to take the action steps in order for me to know if you get it, because I'm not just doing this for my health. I'm not just doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I know that it can change lives. It's changed my life. It's gotten me closer to being a millionaire. And it's one of those things that if you don't do it, then you're going to be forever stuck. And I was stuck. Malik was stuck. We were stuck.
No, listen, we was listen, 4 years ago, we was both broke. Like we talking about, like I had some properties, but 4 years ago, like when we was partners, it was hard, man. We both was like really just making it. We weren't thriving at that time period. When we was partners, we were just making it, doing okay. We were just doing okay.
Barely okay. Just barely okay, right?
Yeah, just barely. Yeah. Just barely okay. Still some struggles. It was still like, let me hold this until next week.
Right.
I got a closing coming up. Let me get something to. I got this closing. Like it was still all that going on. Like it wasn't, it wasn't sweet. But and the thing is,
the pivot point was the that you had to realize that that's what you didn't want anymore, right? So that's when you feel like, okay, when I'm flipping these properties, you see the flips and everybody wants to post the check, right? But where is that check going? You have to distribute that check so that you don't, that flip is something that you can be able to generate wealth off of, not for you to just have a big check. Everybody gets the big check off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, what I'm gonna do real fast, I'm gonna break it down. So I do want to say this. I actually did a partnership with By the Hood too, so that now anybody that's buys the course, they actually get into the By the Hood private Facebook group, and where we do talk about like specific stock plays in there, and we actually breaking down companies, help people understand companies a little bit better, and then we also just give more insight. We share information because everybody can't read everything. Matter of fact, someone put up there, Jazz, some our favorite books to read, and I think that's important because to go in there, everybody should read Aisha Seldon's book, Mother Millions.
Yes,
and then you have to read Money Master the Game. Just start with those two, like Mother Millions first, and then Money Master the Game. You read those two, but like I said, so now you're going to get the information that I give you. Jasmine and I are definitely going to jump back on here, do another training, once you get it. But we want you to actually go through it.
Well, definitely, we're going to package it together to be, like I said, like a live Zoom training, because instead of us just giving that information, we need you to be able to, I think that it's something in being interactive. And, we're both vested into our community. It's like, if Malik is invested in the stock market, he could just literally sit in his house all day and never see anybody again, right?
Yeah, and the beautiful thing, I can do it from this. I can make millions from my phone. I don't even need a laptop. It's crazy.
Right. So it's Mud to Millions. And what was the second one? Mud to Millions by Aisha Seldon.
and the other one is called Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Got you have to get those two books. Like those two, I used to have other books in there. I mean, I think another mindset book for me, like the book that really changed my life, is I read Why Should White Gossip All the Fun by Reginald Lewis,
Yeah,
and he was from Baltimore, and
that's like yeah.
yeah,
Um,
first black billionaire. But
yeah,
just let me say this real fast. I don't want it to go. I don't want to get too far down and kind of go over anybody's head. And I
okay.
really want to come back to Briere, right? She said so. Briere's 19. She's going to have a flip, right? And let's just say that she does two a year, right? And then she makes 40 grand a year from those flips, right? And let's just say she buys a rental every here or there. So now she's making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, right, from her rentals. So then that's already what 24,000. That's 64,000, and then she go out and she sprays some houses every day, exterminating. Listen, by next year, Briere is making $160,000 a year. Next year, 20 years old.
Mhm.
Man, I'm not telling Briere that I'm not going to college. I'm not telling Briere to be exterminator. I'm just saying in general. I just laid out a plan that Briere could be a millionaire by the time she's 23 years old. That's
Absolutely.
it.
Because it could be even easier than that because
And even easier.
it can be even easier than that because I'm telling her, you know how you don't like to set up your social media and your stuff like that. How many people do you know like that? A lot, a
I
ton.
don't know anybody like doing it, but good.
Right. So, hey, Briere, now teach all my old friends how to set that stuff up, right? And now you doing that from your bedroom. She texted me now, like, Mom, I got a client. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that you can take the things that you learn, the easiest things, and make money. You ever see the beach bum or you ever see the beach bum or the white guy that's like the dirtiest guy in the room? You're like, where? And this guy, he's at the auction, but he comes out from the beach to bid on real estate, and he goes back to the beach after he wins the bid, and he's making money off of something small that he does off of the internet. And that's what we have to teach our kids. We got our kids on this darn game all day long. Make them stop the game and be able to tell them, listen, learn how to do something on this computer so that you can go ahead and thrive. That's
Exactly. So yeah, so someone let me it's Money Master the Game. That's Mud to Millions by Aisha. And I failed to mention that Corey Camp and Jimmy Williams have the book. It's called Own Your Time and Space.
yeah.
Own Your Time and Space by Jimmy Williams and Corey Camp. I think those three books is really all you need to get a good financial foundation. You just need that, and everything else is bonus. You can get a lot of more other more information. But like I said, and we we're offering a lot, for a little, I think, and the reason why I even priced the way I did is because I know the hood can't afford it, man. I wrote it for the people that I wrote it for the have-nots. Yeah, I'm not trying to like 5,000, 6,000. No, I wrote it for the have-nots. It's small numbers.
Yeah. So what are you going to extend your Black Friday sale to us?
Yeah. So what I do, I think honestly I did two of them. I think I used the code what was it? Black, I think it was.
Can't remember.
I don't know. I can create one real quick. In fact, I do it right now. You tell me, and in fact, I look at it right now and I'll tell you, and I can
Make the code green.
Okay, I'll do it right now. Actually.
All right. So while Malik is doing that, are there any other questions that you have before we leave you guys? Like I said, we're gonna go through the course. I'm gonna have Malik come on, and we're gonna just me and him together. Y'all gonna be there all day because we got a lot of stories, but you're gonna get those gems, and I promise you, like it. When Malik told me, Jazz, go ahead and buy some real estate. I was a realtor. I've been a realtor. I've been licensed for 12 years, right? And so it's just like, why am I not buying what I'm selling, right? And so Malik put me down. He gave me my first deal, my first full renovation rental property, and it was $12,000. And he still regrets selling that. I don't even want to talk about. Look at his face. I don't even want to talk about it, but he still regrets selling me that property. But it was a life changer. That property I bought for $12,000. I put $35,000 into the property, and now that property got appraised, and I was able to pay off the loan. I had to take a loan out to do the renovations. I was able to pay off the loan in August, and the property appraised at $128,000.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna bet.
$128,000. I was going to take an equity line and do something else, but something else came through. So it probably would have even praised for more because they do the 70, the 80%. But I could have taken out $128,000 on that property just from a friend, just from somebody who wanted to see me win. Said, Jasmine, here goes this property. All you got to do is save your money. When he walked me through the property, he was like, listen, just paint it. So I did, and I went through and I renovated the property and things like that. But just from that play, I was able to gain wealth. I became over $100,000 richer just from one play. You know what I mean? And so those are the things, and those are the things that you have to take. You have to take. It was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice because at the time, all I had was the $12,000, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take this and pray. It was right around Thanksgiving, and I did it, and it changed my entire life. So investing in real estate, and now with that rental property. Oh, by the way, the rental property $950 a month. She run that bread every month. So not only did I become $100,000 richer in my wealth, I also get residual income every single month, no matter what, because she's Section 8. She be chilling. So you got to think about stuff like that, and you have to think about the sacrifices that you can make today to be able to set yourself up in a life tomorrow. Not that I'm sitting here, rich or even wealthy, right? But I'm wealthy. I feel like in mindset, I'm wealthy in in my family, and things like that. And one day I will be rich, but taking those things and getting so that you can chill during a pandemic is something that is priceless. So go ahead. What were you saying?
No. I'd say it's up. So what I made it better than the Black Friday. I did it. I did that 50% off.
Okay.
So you're using the code green. You could just post your link. Okay. And use the code green, and they get 50% off.
All right. Let me post the link. So his course, he's giving it to us. Hold on. It's called 6 Steps to 7 Figures. It is definitely one of those courses. Click on the link, use the code green, so that, and I'll post it also in the green community so that you guys can take advantage of it. For sure, you want to go ahead and do it. And it's when you do it and we get, I don't know, probably 10 people, then we'll go ahead and we'll schedule a live Zoom day, maybe a 2-3 hour, and we'll just run through the steps of the course. And
sure. And so I'm still adding more information. I still have stuff that I'm adding. I'm never going to stop updating it. In fact, today I can record like 5 more pieces of content for it today. So there's still going to be more information added. And like I said, and the bonus to coming over to because right now their Facebook group is free, but next year they're going to be charging $20 a month for it. But you guys will already begin. You don't have to pay that. So that's another huge saver.
Because those guys, that's going to be my next. I'm gonna have them on. I think they're coming on next weekend too. That was the pandemic life changer. That was the shift. Yeah, for sure. That was the shift.
For sure.
It was like one of those things. Like I couldn't believe it. The way that they were showing me how to make money without leaving. The precious metals, the stock is you could do an options play, and that's your lunch money for the week. You know what I
I
mean?
know, man. So I think I might have told you. So I started early. I think we shifted up, like when I got angry,
Uh-huh.
and just that, like I said, man, all of that stuff, and just realized that I did one play. I clicked a few buttons on a Monday morning, and I think that day I made $740 from that on that Monday morning. It was like 9:50, and I made $746, whatever it was. And I was angry because I remember how much work I had to do at the housing authority to make $700 a week. Like when I left the 6 years, instead of 400, I was making $700, right? And my bring home was $700. I used to have to work 40 hours a week, salary, coming in the nighttime. If it had fires, if the police had to get into an apartment, I'm there all times of the night, all times of the morning. Can't really go home on time to bring home $700 a week. And I was laying before my feet even touched the floor. I clicked some buttons and made $746. And I was so pissed, man, because everybody, they make it seem like this is hard. It ain't that. So I'm busting my ass all this time, man, all the stress, all the PTSD that I still got from that job to make the same thing that I made in a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So it's that. But either way, we can go on forever. But like I said, everybody, and also you're not gonna buy it in the band of I'll be in a group. You can ask me questions. Like I said, Jasmine and I, we're gonna do another live training, and we'll definitely get you together, so you share it. And I'm not saying whatever you get from me, share it. Don't be stingy. Get it, get the information, show other people, man. We need an escape plan. We gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that we definitely need an escape plan, because how would we know? How would people know how to really do this without us telling them and giving them the game? And we have to share it. I tell people all the time that people are in my course and are like, "Oh, can I have my partner come?" Of course, you can have your partner come, because I would rather I know that your partner is here and educate them properly than them getting the information secondhand from you and you miss something in translation, right? So I am excited. I'm glad that we were able to get on this morning to educate you guys. Let me know once you guys go ahead and get it. I'll send it out. I'll send it out to my email list so that you guys can go ahead, and we're going to do it. We'll go ahead and do a session and just break down the steps, because I think that we can go ahead and make this a reality for a lot of people, especially walking into this new year, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will see you guys next Saturday. I'll make an announcement, and then Jimmy and Corey will come on and do some stock talk and talk to us about precious metals and how to invest. I started investing in the stock market over the pandemic with just $5 a day. Just put it into my stock account and then buying stock at the end of the week, and they showed me how to make my money grow. It was crazy. So I can't wait to share that with you guys next week. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
All right.